Don't make a sound. Please don't fail me now. I got to stand my ground, my ground. I know I'm down for trying. Please don't fail me now.
Hello and welcome to a special episode of Inside the WSL. We are back here at Arsenal's training ground to celebrate their clean sweep of Barclays awards that they've won for the month of October. No surprises really, considering their impressive start to the WSL season. Not only has Eunice Adeveld won Manager of the Month, but Katie McCabe has bagged herself the Player of the Month award and Goal of the Month as well.
Not a good clearance this time from Hampton. Will she be punished? It's audacious, it's outstanding, and it's 3-0. McCabe also won as a substitute to score in the second half, but she does so in sensational style. Smiles all round for Arsenal.
It's a double congratulations for you, because not only are you the Barclays Player of the Month, you also notched up the Goal of the Month award as well, as you can see here. They're pretty hefty. I hope you've got some space in your trophy cabinet.
They're quite big actually.
They are. What does it mean to you to win those awards?
Yeah, obviously I'm delighted. I think personal accolades are always quite nice. But ultimately for me it's always about the team and how we're performing week in, week out and picking up those 3 points.
And you have been performing. I mean, we'll come on to the fact that you've been scoring some absolute worldies in just a moment. But looking at, your contribution to the team and your goal involvements, you're on 6 goal involvements at the moment in 5 WSL games. You managed, I think it was 15 the whole of last season. So if you carry on at the rate you're going, you're going to improve on those stats. Is that something that you've been trying to add to your game, your creativity?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've always been a creative player. Obviously initially I started left wing, higher up the pitch, and then under Joe Montemurro I kind of evolved into that left back position, but ultimately for me it was about maintaining those attacking aspects of my game, even in that deeper position. And through how we play, especially with Arsenal, we dominate a lot of the ball, and just kind of getting myself up in areas of the pitch where I can affect the play and create goal scoring opportunities.
Goal scoring opportunities, because you have scored some screamers this season. There was the one against Everton, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Which was just sublime. And then there was the goal against Aston Villa as well, equally sublime. Just how does it feel when you see a goal like that, when you execute a shot like that and you see it ripple the back of the net?
Yeah, I guess it's always nice, especially if we need to score. First and foremost, I think the Aston Villa one, I'd come on right wing. I kind of said to Jonas, I'm going on right wing beforehand, and he was like, yeah, just obviously do your stuff or whatever. And then, the pass came out, I think, from Hannah Hampton, and it was something we looked at. Obviously, Aston Villa, they're very strong in how they build up, and Hannah Hampton has that passing range, and obviously the interception, and then it was just kind of an instinct to chip her. She won't be happy with me talking about this, but now obviously I just try to contribute in any way I can, whether that's playing left back, defending, or being higher up the pitch, and as I said, creating some opportunities for opposition. I've always been that attacking player. I've always wanted to score goals or create goals for other people, and as I kind of venture into that left back role, I still try to maintain that as much as possible and ultimately help the team win games.
And you've been efficient this season in terms of your shot conversion rate. It's taken you just 7 shots to get to those 3 goals. So you top the WSL stats for that. Is that something you've wanted to work on specifically as well? Or?
You're hitting me with the stats today. I didn't know that. As I said, obviously I want to get it on target. I would be in and around the goal a lot less than a lot of the strikers within the league. So when I do get up there, I make sure to try hit it on target and at least work the goalkeeper. But yeah, I didn't know that stat.
There you go, you're welcome. It's almost as though you are starting off this season where you left off last season. You was in the PFA Team of the Year, you were Arsenal's Player of the Season. Do you feel like you're playing with more confidence? Is there something that you've changed? How have you managed to stay so consistent?
I think ever since I came back from my loan move against Glasgow City, it was about obviously getting another opportunity here at Arsenal, which I did under Joe Montemurro, and I'm really taking that. I think going away, the loan move done me a lot of good in terms of just getting back playing and playing week in, week out and finding that confidence again. And then under Joe, he really helped me develop my game, and they're sort of the foundations I set and look to improve on each season. Obviously last season was great as well personally, but ultimately it's a trophy game, and we want to obviously be winning trophies, and I hope obviously last year running into this year I've improved on that and can obviously help Arsenal pick up trophies this season.
Yeah, and it's going very well indeed, because your impressive performances have coincided with how well Arsenal are playing. In the WSL, it's 5 wins out of 5. You're through to a record 17th FA Cup final as well. Are you surprised by how well it's going so soon to a new manager coming in?
Yes and no, I suppose. I think I touched on the foundations we set last season under Joe Montemurro, and I think it was really important that we build off that as well, and I think that's a credit to the staff and the players we have here, that we can use that from what we had last season and progress on, and have Jonas come in and implement his sort of philosophy within the game. And I think as well, when a new manager comes in, everyone's excited, everyone needs to be at the top of their game to impress, and I think that's only benefited us, well, right now anyway, so we look to maintain that, but most importantly build off it each week as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the new gaffer's philosophy. What is that? What does he want you to do as a team?
I think you can see it. He brings that intensity, winning how we play, whether that's counter-attacking, how we defend, we're passionate when we defend, and you can see how passionate he is as a guy on the sideline as well, and what you see is what you get with Jonas. I think he's come in and done brilliantly. Not changed too much, but changed what was necessary, and that's down to the staff in the background as well. Like, they've been absolutely fantastic with that too.
Yeah. What has he said to you specifically about how he wants you to play this season?
I think it's different, to be honest. I think it's different with each game. Obviously I've played left wing, already left back, right wing. So for me, wherever the manager wants to play me, I'm going to give it my 100% wherever it is on the pitch. Let's hope it's not in goal or anything like that. Nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, wherever he wants to play me on the pitch, I'm going to give it my 100%. But yeah, hopefully it's just down the left-hand side.
I think one of the most impressive things about Arsenal this season is that you've already come up against the so-called bigger teams, the so-called title contenders, Chelsea and Man City, and beaten them pretty well. How much of a confidence boost is that?
Yeah, of course. Obviously they're two top quality sides, and in the past we've kind of struggled with it against them at times, but we know the quality we have in this team, and we've got world-class players, so it's about understanding that and trusting in that, and going into games and having that confidence. And ultimately, yeah, we got the win in both games, but it's a long season ahead. Any team can take points off of anyone in this league, and it's all about us and maintaining that week in, week out. We focus on each next game.
And can you? I mean, what's the aim this season? What are you dreaming of at this club?
For me, obviously playing for Arsenal, it's all about trophies. That's why you come to a club like this. For me, I looked at the Emma Burns growing up and picking up FA Cups and league titles and even Champions Leagues. So I want to be a part of that, and ultimately this is where we're at, and we want to obviously progress off that. We've got an FA Cup final to look forward to in December, so what better opportunity to start off that. So yeah, it's going to be a long season, but one will be taken game by game.
What does that mean to the club, getting to a record 17th FA Cup final, walking out at Wembley again on that prestigious occasion?
Yeah, no, it's massive. I think Arsenal have been at the forefront of women's football as long as I've been here, and even way before that. I talk about obviously looking up to my role models I had growing up. So yeah, the Arsenal have always been the paving the way in that sense. So yeah. I think it's fantastic. Obviously we can head into our 17th come December.
So Younes told me when I first interviewed him, when he first came to the club, he said one of his big aims is to return Arsenal women to their heyday, to the glory days in the early 2000s, where they were just winning everything. But considering how competitive the women's game now is in England, how realistic is that aim? Can you be that dominant side once again?
I think we're confident in ourselves. I think you need to have that self-belief and also be realistic in a sense that there is top quality around the league. Chelsea, Man City, United, and you seen West Ham take points off Man City a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's just concentrating on ourselves first and foremost, and it's a cliche, but taking it game by game.
Now, the fans love you at this club, don't they? And I know that because they've got a song for you. Now, do you
don't
know
make
it?
me sing it.
Oh, come on. I've got the lyrics, but I don't know the melody, Katie. So the lyrics, so we've got McCabe, Katie McCabe. I just don't think you understand. She plays out on the wing. She hits it with a zing. We've got Katie McCabe.
Yeah.
And it goes like...
I can't sing it. I get so much stick, but I got to sing. We've got McCabe, Katie McCabe. I can't continue.
I'm getting into it. Okay.
Deep down, fail me now. Deep down, fail me now.
Okay, of course, Arsenal will be playing West Ham next, and your Arsenal teammate Viv Miedema has been speaking about that game with Lisa Evans. They've been talking to Caroline Barker.
I said we'd end on deciding who's going to win this Arsenal-West Ham game. Rock, paper, scissors, unless you can think of any other way of deciding it.
Go
Arm
for it.
wrestle?
On free or
Not
after
an arm
free?
wrestle.
No, because then it's easy for me. You've
On
got a sore
free.
wrist as well, to be fair. On free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Arsenal
There we
all
go.
the way.
Nah, not happening.
Let's take it back to when you were a young girl, raised in South Dublin.
Yeah.
What are your earliest football memories?
My earliest football memories that I have to say would be like playing around like our local park with all my boy mates. I have a little brother. He's only a year and a bit younger than me, so we're quite close in age, and I'd always be playing with his friends, to be honest. Just playing. We'd have a goal. One of the lads would have a goal, and we're just constantly out on the pitch a lot of the time. But initially, obviously, it was my dad that started to get me into it, and my older brother, he played football too, and so be down to my dad and my older brother for sure.
Yeah, so that's your older brother Gary, is it?
Gary,
Who plays
yeah.
for Shamrock?
Shamrock Rovers, yeah.
Okay. And if I'm right in saying you've got 10 siblings, so
Yeah.
you've got enough for a football team.
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Was
yeah.
it a sporty family?
Yeah, it was, to be honest. Even my mum and dad, they're quite sporty. My mum was a runner. She used to do a lot of long distance stuff, and then my dad played football as well. So we do have a really sporty background, and I think every one of us was involved in sport one way or the other. My little sister as well, actually, she's 14 and she's kind of breaking into the under 15 Ireland setup right now. So yeah, like it's going well. We do have a football team and 11 of us. I don't think a lot of people know that about me, to be fair, but yeah, no, it's I loved coming from a big family. It's one of the things I struggled with, to be fair, coming over. Was kind of just going home and you're not used to having all your brothers and sisters around, but ultimately it's the sacrifices you make to be a professional footballer. So yeah, I guess it was worth it in the end.
Yeah. I wonder if playing with boys when you were younger helped as well, because girls now, because they have more opportunities to play in girl-only teams, they don't tend to play with boys as much as you did or as much as I did when I was growing up. Does that impact your development, do you think? Has it helped you?
I think like at the time you do kind of have to puff your chest out and get physical. At times, obviously, the tackles are harder, the game's quicker, there's boys that are faster than you, so you kind of have to get up to speed. But I think right now, for girls to be playing in teams with only girls is fantastic, and it's just shown how well the women's game is evolving.
So which players were you looking up to when you were a youngster? Who did you want to emulate?
Well, initially it was my brother, obviously, first and foremost. He has his archive of goals is pretty special as well, to be fair. But one I would look up to would probably be Damien Duff, an Irish player. He played for Chelsea at the time, but left foot. He played left wing for Ireland, and yeah, I just kind of mirrored my game off him. And yeah, he was absolutely brilliant. I think he won the Premiership at the time, back in the day as well. And yeah, I wanted that number 11 shirt for Ireland, which he had as well, so it would have to be Damien Duff, I suppose.
Have you met him?
I've not actually met him, no. I've met Robbie. Robbie would be another one, to be fair. He was top goal scorer for Ireland. Yeah, so, but Spurs, he was also Spurs, so, but now he keeps an eye on my game, and I had a nice chat with him initially before I came over to Arsenal. Back a few years ago, when he kind of gave me some advice to help me with the move. So
Oh, did he?
nice, yeah, nice
What did
touch.
he say? Some nice words of
Just
comfort.
just to enjoy it, you know. Obviously, coming from he's from Tallaght as well, where I'm from in Ireland, so he knows what it's like to go over to London. So yeah, he's a real role model of mine as well, and yeah, a guy I look up to for sure.
That's nice. I wonder, were you watching women's TV on the football? If you turn on the TV now, you can pretty much watch a women's game every weekend. But back in the day when you were growing up, was it like that? Were you able to find women's football?
Not as much. I remember there was an FA Cup final that Emma Byrne Arsenal were playing in. I think they were playing Everton at the time, and my dad, it was like the one game a year that was on TV. It was always the FA Cup final, and my dad being like, look, it's obviously the women's teams or whatever. And I sat and watched it, and Arsenal won. So yeah,
There you go.
yeah. But I remember seeing Emma Byrne and like all the legends of Arsenal at the time playing. So yeah, it was the one game a year that was on.
And then a few years later, you're here.
Yeah, no, it is. It's pretty special. The journey has been exciting. Obviously, there's still a lot more to come and a lot more to come out of me, especially. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I'm obviously lucky to be playing for a club like Arsenal as well.
And is it right that Chelsea were interested in signing you, Man City were interested, but you chose Arsenal? Why was that?
I'd initially went over on a trial for Chelsea, which I was really impressed with. I'd met Emma Hayes, Niamh Fahey, an Irish player, was there at the time, and I'd really enjoyed it. But for me, it didn't feel right at the time. I remember playing the game and stuff like that, and I did really enjoy it, but it just didn't feel right for me to go that summer. And then I broke into the Irish senior team. I got my competitive debut in the September, and then we played Portugal in a 2-1 win over there, and Emma had said that the manager at the time, Pedro, had been looking at the game, and I'd got 2 assists that game and played quite well. And lo and behold, I was in Castlebar at the time in Mayo, and got a call from the manager, Pedro, asked him to chat, and it was ever since then.
How did that feel?
Yeah, surreal, because it's something you work so hard for since you're a little girl to get that professional approach and the call and everything like that. It was just it was what dreams are made of I remember coming over, flying over, signing and everything. Yeah, it was pretty special.
And then talk to me about your transition from being an attack-minded player to then essentially becoming a defender. I mean, were you up for that challenge? Did you want to do that, or was it just something that the manager said you have to do it, otherwise you're not going to play?
Yeah, I think it was a conversation. It wasn't a conversation actually. Sorry, initially it was just something that had kind of happened. I think we did a couple of injuries that season in the left back area. And then I'd found myself like playing there week in, week out, and I spoke to Joe just because I wanted to improve on it. I wanted to make sure that I was doing a good enough job, but also learning and improving each week in my defensive aspect of my game. So yeah, it was something we'd worked on. I continue to work on for sure. I think you can never stop learning and improving. So yeah, I'd say it started from Joe really.
Now be honest, do you enjoy the defensive side of the game, or would you prefer to be just bombing it up the wing and creating chances?
I do now. Initially I didn't.
Okay.
It was like, I think it was Louise at the time, Louise Quinn was like, Katie stay, like just telling me to stay, where I was just going, thinking, oh, you can do the defending, but now for sure I do really enjoy it. Initially it was something I had to get used to, but yeah, I do enjoy the physicality side of things as well in the defending.
Now, there have been quite a few Irish players to play in the WSL, but none have really done it for as long as you, at this top level, for as long as you've done it. Do you see yourself as a role model for your fellow countrywomen? Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so. For me, it's always just about maintaining, obviously, what I'm doing and improving on that. Each season I'm here. But yeah, I'd like to think that there's little girls back home in Ireland that can absolutely dream about doing what I'm doing right well. And yeah, it's about obviously the visibility of that as well, so it's important. Yeah, you mentioned visibility and like the fact that The WSL now it's got more eyes on it than ever before. You're exposed more than ever before, and you seem to be taking this platform, this idea of being a role model quite seriously. And you've spoken out, haven't you, about being an LGBTQ footballer and your relationship with Risa Littlejohn. Why was it important for you to speak about something that's quite personal so publicly?
Yeah, I think obviously initially when me and Rusha had spoken out about our sexuality, I think as footballers we're given this platform and we do have that kind of light shone on us a little bit. So it's important to use it in a positive way. With the help of Aviva back home in Ireland, we were able to do that, and I think it spoke volumes, the feedback we got from it, and for us, if we were able to help that one person by coming out and speaking out, it's ultimately what it's all about. And even the Rainbows Laces campaign, with what we do here in the UK is absolutely brilliant by helping that inclusivity.
What is it like though, being in a household where you're both footballers? Does it get intense? Is it good because she understands? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, I think we've got a good balance. I would say I think there's an element of, yeah, obviously she's doing what she's doing with Aston Villa, and obviously I'm doing what I'm doing at Arsenal, and she'll come watch games. I'll go to her games when I can. But it's important to switch off as well and kind of focus on ourselves and kind of keeping football to training, you know. But no, I think it's all about balance, and I think we've got that.
And when you play each other on the pitch,
there's a few elbows. It's a few elbows. From her, probably not from me. Yeah, to be fair, she's a midfielder, so I don't actually see her as much when we are playing against her, but there has been a few occasions then when we've come up against each other, and yeah, I've left a tackle in or two. But it's easier with Ireland when we're playing with each other, so yeah, I mean.
It's all love in there. It's all love. It's all love
all good, all good.
I love it. Thank you, Katie, for your time. It's been great.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations again on your 2 Barclays Awards.
Thank you very much. Cheers.